checking connection. We're good. My name is Rick Noda. I'm here in beautiful Encinitas, California for T3 Talks, where we tighten, tactical, and transition. Now, you guys, last week we had Doc Parker take over my program. Yay! All right, yeah. Now, again, one of the nice things and when I founded T3 Body and I established T3 Talks was to get you information out there from other practitioners other than myself, and that's in our ecosystem, you guys. So again, one of the things where I say our motivation inspires you to be better, even as your coach, I'm trying to get better by learning new things and really kind of growing as an individual. With that being said, this week's topics, you guys, are going to build on a little bit of what we talked about with Doc last week. But Esteban's behind the counter there, or behind the screen there is my producer. And as Doc and I were talking, him and his brother really came up to me after the program and started to talk to me and say, hey, dude, you know what? Wow. You know, a lot of the stuff that you talked about are deaths overrated. Is this, and this? You know, what is, you know, all that stuff, you know, really helped. But, dude, I was big when I was, like, in third grade. Like, by third grade, I was already starting to get bigger, and, you know, I started to change. So I started to get used to, you know, to, like, participating a little less, or my movement was a little bit different. So I went, and I was like, I started to do some research, you guys, and what I noticed was, you know, every time I talk to someone about weight loss, all right, first off, they don't think that I ever had, you know, my story. Remember, I talk to Esteban all the time. I call my life. All right, in my life, you know, guys, I'm a retired alcoholic. I raced Ironman. I'm a former Marine. You know, I'm ADHD, all that stuff. But what you guys don't know, is that at one point in my life, when I got out of the military, that picture was of 2001. I got out of the military. My, you know, estimated release of active duty was April of 1995. 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. In 6 years, I had went from a war dog machine to Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man. All right. What I mean by that is I continued the same habits that the Marine Corps had taught me. Work hard, play harder. Work hard, play harder. So I was drinking like a crazy dude. But you know what I wasn't doing is I wasn't training like I used to. What I mean is, did I go to the gym? Esteban, yeah. Did I go to the gym? Yeah. Got those gains. And as I went to get those gains, all right, I got caught up in that culture. That culture is a culture that, to be honest with you guys, is a okay culture if you're looking to just do this. I've got one of my friends that is that follows me, all right? He's a professional bodybuilder. He's a coach that retired from the Air Force, and he's a professional bodybuilder. He trains athletes to be professional or compete in bodybuilding. Now, one thing that, you know, we had a conversation a few years ago, he said that the things that I do are really out of his comfort zone because, again, it's not what he does in his life. You know, he's not doing some of the extreme things that we do here to improve movement. Why is that important and why is that relevant? Because, again, everybody has their thing that they're doing. So if you're a power lifter, if you're this, if you're all that, we all have that. But here's what I will tell you. In 2012, there's a TED Talk. That TED Talk was by Lieutenant General Mark Phillips Hartling. Again, you guys could look that up. I'll spell it for you. Hertling. For those of you guys who know I was a radio operator, that's Hotel Echo Romeo Tango Lima India November Golf. So if you ever wondered if I was in the Marine Corps, go F yourself. But no, there it is. All right. So this Lieutenant General, all right, his header in 2012. Now, Esteban, we're just check what day we were in. 2019, okay? Obesity is a national security issue. Why? This is conduct unbecoming to a Marine. And I'll tell you why. Because when I was in the Marine Corps, we had height and weight requirements. Now, when I was in the Marines, remember, I went into boot camp 135 pounds soaking wet. They put a 150-pound pack on my back and said, get over it, meaning get in the gym, get bigger, get used to that load. And you know what? Through calisthenics, I did. Now, as I started to get stronger, all right, that pack got lighter, but I also gained weight. So at one point, me and my buddy Sean Vella, Semper Fi buddy, couldn't break 172 pounds. We would eat, you guys, no lie, 2 pizzas. He'd eat a full pizza, I'd eat my own pizza, and we would literally eat that amount of food after eating chow. And we couldn't break 172 pounds. And the reason why is that we did so much endurance training as a Marine that what happens is that you're burning so many calories lifting. My job as a Marine, you guys, I could have very easily lifted the radios just cleaning, and each radio would have weighed 50 or 60 pounds, and I would have done that for 3 or 4 hours. And then I would go and done physical training, and then I would have gone and done gone to the gym on top of it. So my hours were huge. But here's what happened. I had to have a life event. This is my life event, you guys. This is the heart attack. This is you can't pick up your kids anymore. This is like my father and some of the other guys who literally have a panic attack, a stroke. They have something that tells them that, you know what, their body can no longer do what it once did. So they have to make a life change. Now, can I tell you something? When I talk about why is that, and when the lieutenant talks about why is it a threat to national security, it's because I'm not an effective leader then. You know what? I was very aggressive. I was angry all the time because I was drinking a lot. I was using outdoor substances. So you know how we use those 4 quadrants, biological, psychological, social, and spiritual? I was all in that social part, man. I was loving, like, hanging out with my buddies, drinking. I was playing, 12-inch softball sponsored by bars. I thought I was doing training, but from the picture there, I had a 36-inch waist by Nina. I had a 36-inch waist, you guys. I had a 42-inch chest, 19-inch arms. Sounds pretty good, right? But I could literally barely breathe or run to first base. So what is the threat to national security, you guys, is PE is gone. So this is going to be the first generation of recruits who have never known PE, even in elementary school, you guys. So go figure that out. So as a Marine, I had started my fitness career when I was 5 years old because I was hyper. My mom says, give me push-ups, give me jumping jacks. Imagine being 18, 19, 20 years old. Esteban, how old are you? 28. When did you get introduced to athletics? In school, right? So his generation is one of the few generations that are left that they got introduced to schools that it's gone. So is the crafts, so is recess, so all of that stuff is gone out of fitnesses. So imagine being 18, 19 years old and not even knowing how to do a jumping jack. And I want you to know that, you guys, in my session, I have that happen. I'll say, do a jumping jack. They go, what's that? And I lose my SHIT because I can't believe, but then I have to take a step back and understand that, you know what, that they were never taught. And then I got to go back to this guy again, and say, what happened? Why is that? Why was this the threat to national security? Because I'll tell you, I lost sight of my core values: God, country, family. My motivation was in one place. All right, it was literally my extended family was my buddies and my drinking buddies. But at that point, could I protect my family? Unless the guy had a beer in his hand and wanted to offer me, yeah, I could have picked him up. At this point, I was also called, hey, big guy. All right? So, like, I also, during this time, called myself Big Daddy. All right? Go laugh, Big Daddy, okay? Why is that? Because if you're not gonna embrace where you're at, then you're gonna be a whole lot of depressed. So I love being that bigger dude. I tell Esteban and some of these guys that I am a larger man, shoved into like a skinny frame body because I love to eat. I'm a foodie. But the effects of that on my body isn't bueno, So today's and the rest of the week's topics is understanding that we and me being here at T3 Body and at T3 Talks am trying to avoid the death sentence, the part where you go to the doctor and they say you need to start something because we need to start this because you have diabetes. That is a life-changing event. This was a TED Talk that was done in 2012. 2012. It's got 1 million views. But the difference between this is a fucking jarhead saw it now. The guy's an Army guy, and he even says in there, we're not even the Marine Corps, and we can't get guys to do our basic training. But here's what I will tell you, that in 2019, Marines use action. We don't talk. We talk a lot, but our actions exceed what we speak and our teachings. So my homework to all of everybody right now is sit down with yourself, look at my podcast, go to the podcast that talks about the levels of awareness, all right, and figure out where you're at. Look at every single, here it goes. Here it is, Esteban. Use the 7 Ps. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Use SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic target, to understand your relationship with you and start making that change, where I say is as simple as just opening up your door and walking 1 block and then coming back and doing it every day for the next 7 days. That is the difference between talking shit in 2012 and in 2019 making a difference. So when I say our motivation inspires you to be better, you already have the plan. Make it happen. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for checking out our videos. If you want to go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and hit that button right below. Or if you want to check out the latest video right here over my shoulder, go ahead and click that link. If you want to check us out on our social networks, we're at T3 Body Encinitas. That's T3 Body Encinitas. Or shoot me a quick email at info@T3 Body Encinitas, where our motivation inspires you to be better. See you guys soon.